They are full of the fury of the Most High, the rebuke of thy power. That's why they'll go out and kill you in a minute. So therefore hear now this, thou afflicted and drunken, but not with wine. I mean, you influenced by something, but it's not from drinking or drugs or anything that you take it. Thus said the Most High power, the power of powers, and thy power that pleaded the cause of his people, Israel. Behold, I have taken out of thine hand a cup of trembling, even the dregs of the cup of my fury. Thou shalt no more drink it again. So we ain't gonna drink this fury that we have put upon us for breaking his laws. That you come out. This is the last time that we gonna see this captivity that we in now. Verse 22. Thus said the Most High power, the power of powers, thy power that pleadeth the cause of his people, the children of Israel. Behold, I have taken out of thine hand the cup of trembling, even the dregs of the cup of my fury. Thou shalt no more drink it again. It can't be talking about the time of Isaiah, because he's in captivity here. This is prophecy. But I will put it into the hand of them that afflict thee, which have said to thy soul, said to our soul, said to our bodies, what? Bow down, that we may go over. And thou hast laid thy body as the ground, and as the street to them that went over. And that's how it was with us, and that's how it still is, to a certain degree. I remember they used to take our little boys and girls and put them on the ground and put their feet on them all day long. Talking about that's going to take all the rheumatism out of their body. Because they know we the children of Israel. They know we the power. Got spiritual power with the Most High. They know we the children of Israel. The 12 tribes of Israel. We just don't know. They done laid our bodies down. Look how we be just shot down, man. They just shoot us down like Trayvon Martin. This dude going around going to gun shows, getting autographs and so forth. Cops stopping, you don't know who I am? Get his license, go back, say, y'all got a gun in the glove compartment. Just, go ahead. Because he ain't got this chocolate colored skin. He got that red skin, like them, like clay. They draw everybody to have clay. That's what it tells you. That clay colored skin. Because they red. Just pat him on the hand, let him go. No problem. Look how many have been just murdered. I remember growing up, and every month they had one of us that was celebrity, I guess you would call it, a deaf celebrity, hanging on a tree. Every month in the Jet magazine. You know, I just seen something today. I posted this white woman. She had 2 children by a brother. They broke up. She had, a woman used to keep the children. She kept the children. She got married to this Edomite, white man, so-called white man. They had children. And she said she was embarrassed to have her black children, her Israelite children. So it tells you how she was playing with them before she went to court concerning this matter. She was playing with them all outside before they had to go inside the court. Went inside the courtroom, and they allowed her to put them up for adoption. And say she came out and acted like they was not there, just walked away from them, never to see them again. Just like it was nothing. That's put us on the ground like we ain't nothing. They can walk over us and just keep walking over us. So this was what's happened to us. Why? Because the Most High said, if you don't follow my laws, statutes, commandments, all these curses will come upon you. Listen. This is where we at now. When it says we're gonna get the kingdom, we got next. We're gonna take the kingdom and possess the kingdom. Only one it's gonna happen for is the ones that follow what he said do. He told us this in Deuteronomy 28 and 1. This is what we're waiting on. Deuteronomy 28 and 1, it says, and it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken, meaning listen, diligently, attentively, unto the voice of the Most High thy power, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, his laws that he commanded us today, that the Most High thy power will set thee on high above all nations of the earth. If we follow his commandments, that's what we're looking at now. That's how we're going to have next, forever and ever and ever. Like coming back to his laws, statutes, and commandments. So the world is set up to send you where? Into the lake of fire that's coming on this earth. Because they tell you not to follow the Most High's laws. They tell you that he loved everybody. He don't love everybody. He loved Jacob. So Jacob have I loved. I challenge anybody to show me where the Most High say he loved every nation. When you read Psalms 83rd chapter, he say he got nations that's the enemies of the Most High. And of Mashiach Yahushai. That's why I say you don't get those that pierced him. Or you just piercing them now. In your own little way. Or your own big way. I just read you how all of them going to come against him. Ain't going to be nothing but dust and smell of smoke. So he got enemies. But if we diligently listen to the Most High and do his commandments, his laws, he's going to set us on high above all nations of the earth. Verse 2, Deuteronomy 28 and 2. And all these blessings shall come on thee and overtake thee if thou shalt hearken, mean listen unto the voice of the Most High thy power. What more blessing could you want than to be set up to be over all the nations forever and ever and ever? That's why when you look at Lamentations 4 and 22, the book right after Jeremiah, by Jeremiah, Lamentations 4:22. I like hearing it. I don't know about you. I like to hear this good news because our people, we're in such a bad shape that we need to hear something that gives us hope besides saying you're going to die and go to heaven. Like they lied to us and said that. Now, we're going to have heaven right here on the earth. Just like they got their heaven now, we're going to have our heaven. Listen to what it says. Lamentations 4:22. The punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. Hear that? We're Zion. When you read the Bible, we're Zion. We represent Zion. Let's see if I can prove that. Look at one way we prove it is in Isaiah 51 and 16. Isaiah 51 and 16 to prove that the children of Israel represent Zion. And I have put my words in thy mouth, and I have covered thee in the shadow of mine hand, that I may plant the heavens and lay the foundations of the earth, and say unto Zion, thou art my people. See? Say unto Zion, thou art my people. So the children of Israel, we represent Zion. We are the Most High's people. That's what he's saying. So that's sounds good to me. That's why I say you can understand through the precepts, but if you don't know, you can't. That's why a lot of people don't deal with this, because they have not been taught this. Therefore, they don't see this. But it's all here. It's all here, brothers and sisters. That's why we gotta look at this and work more and more and more to be righteous. in the eyes of the Most High. That's what's important. Going back to Lamentations 4:21, 22, excuse me. The punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. See? Talking about the 12 tribes of Israel. He will no more carry thee away into captivity. That's what he's going to do. So he said he will no more carry thee away into captivity. So we went into captivity over and over and over again. We went through that. That's what we're dealing with now. The many captivities of Israel. Now we in captivity by our minds. We've been taught the wrong information. We've been programmed with lies, contrary to what the Bible says. And I challenge anybody to show me that you're going to go to the kingdom. You don't have to follow the Most High. You can just say, forget the Most High's laws, whatever, his rules and regulations. He's going to take you into the kingdom with him. When he just said, hey, I'll make a great nation out of you, Moses. Told John the Baptist, hey, I'll make some stones out to be my people. The heck with them people. He don't need us. His ways and thoughts are not our ways and thoughts. So who got the mind of the Most High? We just know him a little bit in the precepts that I'm bringing out to you right now. It's a little bit of knowing him. The vast, he's everything. Everything you see is the Most High. Comes from the Most High. How you know him? You know everything? No, we don't know everything. We know in part and prophesy in part. I don't care who it is. Lamentation 4:22 said, the punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished. See, the punishment. He punished us for what? Not following his laws, statutes, and commandments. But he said it's accomplished. When it's accomplished, when we got next, forever and ever and ever, that's when our punishment and our iniquity is accomplished. It says, O daughter of Zion, the children of Israel, he will no more carry thee away into captivity. He will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins, your sins. He's going to discover the sins of the so-called white people who are the Edomites, who are the superpower of the earth today. That's why it tells you in the Apocrypha, when you go to 2nd Esdras, the 6th chapter, so you're going to discover their iniquity. 2nd Esdras 6 and 7. It says, Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times? What's going to be the parting asunder of the times? The times we in to the times that's coming. Or when shall be the end of the first, this world that we're in now, and the beginning of it that followeth. The beginning of the world that's going to follow after this world that we're in now. And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born, so he's going all the way back to the beginning. Jacob and Esau were born under our forefather Isaac. Born of him. Jacob held first the heel of Esau. They were fighting in the womb. For Esau is the end of the world. That means the so-called white man would have been ruling when in the end of the world. He wasn't ruling during the time we read in Lamentations. He wasn't ruling then. They had the Babylonian kingdom, because we went into captivity first on the Egyptians, then the Assyrians, and then the Babylonians, Ethiopians, Mo-Africans, so-called Africans, Hamites. Then the Persian and Mede Empire, the East Indians, and the Japhetic people had us in captivity. Then the Greeks came into power. And it's all in the Bible. We read First Maccabees. That's before Mashak Abishai came in the flesh. They was ruling. They started, their first emperor was Alexander the Greek. By the time he came on the earth, they would call themselves the Romans. Because Romulus and Remus, who was raised by a she-wolf, you go to Caesar Palace in Vegas, you see, they got them, but you can just Google it up. Romulus and Remus. You'll see they had a fight against each other, saying the people ain't going to remain the Greeks. These cats was raised by a dang wolf. And you see them with their mouths on the bottom of a wolf breast, sucking the milk out of a dang on wolf. And Romulus killed his brother Remus because he wanted to name the people the Romans. That's why they names became the Romans. Same people. Oh, there was a specific people, the so-called Italian Caucasians. The Edomites. Not the Sicilians. Those are, like I said, Israel scattered among all nations. Understand that. But Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follow it. That's what it's saying. We got next. Jacob represents Israel, represents the 12 tribes of Israel. So no matter how you look at it, we got next. But we have to humble ourselves before the Most High to see this kingdom that's coming. That's prepared for us. It's prepared. It's already prepared. Just wait on us to get ourselves together. What we gonna do? You know, this ain't no joke. This is serious. I take this real serious. This is my life. It should be your life. Not just today, but every day. You should be an Israelite every day. Isaiah 51. And 9. Isaiah 51 and 9. It says, awake. Say, wake up. Awake. Put on thy strength. Put on strength, O arm of the Most High. Awake, as in the ancient times. As in the ancient days, excuse me. In the generation of old. Art thou not it that have cut Ramah and wounded the dragon? Just our power. And that's what's going to be needed. To survive in these days to come. That's why when you go to Isaiah 52 and 1, that comes to us. Say, awake. We ask the Most High to wake. That's why we say, Kram Abanawa Yahweh. Rise, our Father, Most High. Rise. Kram Amashiach Yahushua. Rise, Amashiach Yahushua. Because where is he at? Sitting on the right hand side of the Most High. And when he rise for the occasion to come back to judge and make war and set up this kingdom that's going to last forever and ever in righteousness, he going to stand forever. And nobody going, like it says, nobody going to bring us into captivity, slavery, bondage again. Isaiah 52 and 1. Awake, awake. Put on thy strength, O Zion. Zion is the 12 tribes of Israel. Put on our strength. Put on thy beautiful garments, it says. Say, put on your beautiful garments, O Jerusalem, the holy city. For henceforth there shall no more come into thee the uncircumcised and the unclean. That's the wicked. The ones that are not following the law, such commandments of the Most High. They ain't going to be coming into our kingdom. Shake thyself from the dust. Arise. I mean, don't come out of this lower state that your mind is in. Shake yourself from the dust. Why he said, remember he said, we done laid our bodies down, they can go over, say, come up. Be who you are. Feel good to be an Israelite. Say, shake thyself from the dust, arise and sit down, O Jerusalem. Loose thyself from the bonds of thy neck. What's around your neck? Your head. And what's on your head right now? Your brain, your mind. Your mind is destroyed for what? Lack of knowledge. That's what it says. Loose the bands of thy neck, O captive daughter of Zion. Because when when they had that yoke of iron around our neck, you couldn't loose that from your neck. But now you can loose the lies and the false education and the false religions from out of your spirit. You do not have to be walking around dumb, ignorant, and blind, not knowing. It's no excuse. Verse 3. For thus said the Most High, ye have sold yourself for nothing. So you sold yourself for nothing. What's the price? Nothing. And ye shall be redeemed without money. Hear that? We're going to be redeemed without money. No matter how much money you have to get, I mean, they're going to want to buy their way into this. You ain't no money. You can't say we're going to be redeemed without money. For thus said the Most High power, my people went down aforetime into Egypt to sojourn there, and the Assyrian oppressed them without cause. I can tell you, from the Egypt captivity to the Assyrian captivity. Now therefore, what have I here? Said the Most High, that my people is taken away for nothing. They that rule over them make them to howl. Yeah, we howling, crying out. Said the Most High, my name continually every day is blasphemed. Wow. So I say every day his name is blasphemed. One way in calling on God, calling them God. That's just dog spelled backwards. And these Europeans, when they publish this Bible, they put that in there. Instead of Elohim, you know, the power of the Most High, the Mashiach Yahushua, they put God there. They put Lord there. And most people worshiping Baal. They've got Baal worship that they follow. See, every day is his name blasphemed. Therefore my people shall know my name. Therefore they shall know in that day that I am he that does speak. Behold, it is I. And we do know his name. He's brought his name back to us. That's why he say his name is too powerful for the nations to speak it, because they know that they know the wrath that he said he's gonna bring. And they looking at what he done to us, his chosen people. What is he gonna do to them? That's why I don't understand how people can think that these Gentile nations gonna receive the same benefit as we are when they're in another lifetime. Another lifetime that was here before. That's regeneration. You might not, some people don't believe in that, but whatever. All I'm telling you is this. You mean to tell me they right now have been doing the wicked things that they've been doing, and also all they got to do now, the last part of the end of the world, is come back and start following what we're dealing with now, and they're going into the kingdom to receive the same benefit as the children of Israel. When it tells you clearly in Revelation 7 and 4 down, it's going to be 12,000 of each of the tribes of Israel. That's going to be the ruling party. 12,000 times 12 is 144,000 of the 12 tribes of Israel. The gates going to be 3 tribes on each gate on the 4 corners, which make up the 12 tribes of Israel. Come on. He told the 12 apostles, who are Israelites, they're going to sit on thrones judging the 12 tribes of Israel. So, where do they fit in? They fit in just like the Most High said. Our gates going to be open continually, that the forces of the Gentiles may be brought to us. These other nations. We have to pay. I mean, just look at this, and then you make the call. Because it's very important. The Most High is just. You can't look at him in any other way. Otherwise, we're not the chosen. You can do whatever you want to do, and then you're going to go to the kingdom and receive the same benefits. That's why most people don't understand that. Think about these scriptures that talk about Gentiles. They can't differentiate between the Gentiles that are our people today. Probably your daddy, your mama, your grandmama, your granddaddy, your cousins and aunts and uncles call themselves what? Gentiles. They call themselves the Israelites or Jews or Gentiles. They call themselves Gentiles. But they are the children of Israel. This don't take a rocket science to figure out. But some looking to try and save these other people Instead of, we ain't even gather the children of Israel together yet. You know, all nations hearing this, whoever hear this, can hear this, but we hear to gather the children of Israel together. Because listen at this, Ezekiel 21:1. Now you tell me, since this happened to the chosen people of the Most High, how he's going to allow the ones that you think are righteous of these other nations to not have to deal with the same thing we had to deal with in being part of the 1/3, but still this happened to the 1/3 that were righteous, following the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High. Ezekiel 21:1. And the word of the Most High came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face toward Jerusalem, and drop thy word toward the holy places, and prophesy against the land of Israel. Who live in the land? The 12 tribes of Israel. And say to the land of Israel, the land is not going to do anything, but say to the people that's in the land, thus said the Most High, behold, I am against thee. Excuse me, verse 2. Son of man, set thy face toward Jerusalem, and drop thy word toward the holy places, and prophesy against the land of Israel, and say to the land of Israel, thus said the Most High, behold, I am against thee, and I will draw forth my sword out of his sheath, and will cut off from thee the righteous and the wicked. So if it's of his own people, of the 12 tribes of Israel, he cut off from the land the righteous and the wicked. Saying then that I will cut off from thee the righteous and the wicked, therefore shall my sword go forth out of his sheath against all flesh, from the south to the north, from the south to the north, that all flesh may know that I am the Most High, that have drawn forth my sword out of his sheath, it shall not return anymore. That's why he says, sigh therefore, thou son of man, with the breaking of thy loins, and with bitterness sigh before their eyes. Tell them yes, he said. So the righteous of the Israelites went in. So now, what do you think? You think the righteous of another nation that you call, that you think is righteous, they're not going to have to go through the judgment of the Most High? They're going to escape the judgment because you telling them they're going to escape the judgment, and that's contrary to what's written. Better think again. You might be holding yourself up from going. But that's a lie. Ain't no liars going to the kingdom. Malachi, the 2nd chapter. I'm going to read verse we'll start at verse 7. Malachi 2:7. For the priest's lips shall keep knowledge, and they shall seek the law at his mouth. For he is the messenger of the Most High power of hosts. Read here again. These are the ones that's supposed to be leading the people according to this Bible. For the priest's lips should keep knowledge, and they should seek the law at his mouth. They seek the law from the priest. Are they doing that? How are they doing that? They tell you not under the law. For he is the messenger of the Most High power of hosts. I mean, it's amazing to me how lost our people are. They just want to bring you into the average Joe Blow. When you're bringing the law of the Most High, you're bringing what's right. And when the book is closed, all of a sudden you just become like somebody out there they know as wicked as ever. But ye are departed out of the way. Ye have caused many to stumble at the law. So that's what they've done. These preachers have done that. But the people was be hearing the law from the preacher's mouth. But he said what? But ye are departed out of the way. Ye have caused many to stumble at the law. Ye have corrupted the covenant of Levi, said the most high power of hosts. Caused many to stumble in following the Most High's law. Verse 9, therefore have I also made you contemptible and base before all the people, according as ye have not kept my ways, which is his laws, but have been partial in the law. You hear that? It's going to happen regardless of what it is that you feel or think in your wildest dreams. He said he going to make them contemptible and base. I mean at a low degree. Before all people. Before all the people. I mean, look at the ones that's been exposed of doing all kind of madness. The priests having intercourse with little boys and sending pictures of themselves to children and having sex with the lesbians and the homosexuals in the church and so forth. Preachers laying down with them and all that. Women with women, men with men, all that's going on in the church. And you know it because they're right there, got their little congregation of homosexuals and lesbians right there in the church. Sleeping with everybody. Doing all kind of madness. Having Halloween up in the church. Man. Sad. That's what it says. Therefore, verse 9, therefore have I also made you contemptible and base before all the people, according as ye have not kept my ways, which is his laws, but have been partial in the law. Partial in the law. Have we not all one Father? Have not one power created us? Why do we deal treacherously every man against his brother? By profaning the covenant of our fathers? Yeah. Deal treacherously amongst each other.